Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. There must be a God somewhere.
The three key words that we look at from, and my perspective is around mental health and psychology, are awareness, knowledge, and skills. Awareness, knowledge, and skills. So the first thing around awareness is the clinician, the doctor, the nurse, the counselor, the social worker has to be aware of their own culture. We always like to put the focus out there and deal with them and think that we are a blank slate sitting in the room. But the issue is it's an interaction, and so people are responding to who we are as well. And so it's important for clinicians and for doctors to have a sense about their own cultural identity, because here's the issue. When I'm not comfortable about who I am, then I get intimidated when you bring your stuff. You see what I'm saying? Versus when I know who I am and you talk about yours, we could celebrate each other, because I'm not offended by that. And so along with the awareness of yourself, there also has to be an awareness of your biases. And I think a lot of times we have done a disservice of just painting a picture of racism as a Klan member. And because we only see these extreme versions, when people are doing something that is racist, we cannot name it because people will say, you know, not the R word, that's like so extreme and so big. The issue is that racism can be very subtle. Racism can be very covert. And we know from the history of slavery that it's a powerful thing to take people's language. And so what do I do when I keep punching you, but you're not allowed to say the word punch? So we have all of these experiences of racism and discrimination, but you'll make people uncomfortable if you say it. And so a part of that piece is also recognizing that by virtue of living in this society, we have come to believe some things about people that are not true, that we have come to treat people in some stereotypical ways. And so that awareness of self and awareness of bias. The second word was knowledge. You have to be knowledgeable about, when I was describing the different symptoms, that there can be the same quote-unquote disorder or dis-ease that manifests itself differently depending on who's sitting in front of you. So that becomes the importance of seeing the knowledge, even around pain tolerance. What does it mean for me to tell you how much pain I'm in? For me to even recognize it or acknowledge it to myself when I'm supposed to be super strong. And we have to also be knowledgeable about people's history. Oftentimes when you're experiencing distrust of the health system, it's not that people are just paranoid, but they have had an individual history and a collective history that makes that trust difficult, and then sometimes that distrust can be in service of their well-being. That we have to ask questions, because sometimes stuff gets done to us and on us without our consent or understanding. And so having that knowledge about what does it look like in the room. And then the last word was skills. You have to have the communication skills, you have to have the medical skills to recognize, even when we're talking about cultural presentation of things, one of the terms that we will sometimes use is to say someone had a nervous breakdown. Have y'all heard that before? I want you to know it's not in the DSM. DSM is the diagnostic book that therapists use. So you come in talking about, oh, and everybody knows what you mean, yeah. Oh yeah, Mariah Carey had nervous breakdowns, let's say had nervous breakdowns. What, you know, and we start to think about, like, what does that mean? What does that look like? How can you understand what that is? And so understanding the specific ways that our issues may show up. The other piece about skills is truth-telling. People trust you when they read that you're authentic. And so putting a happy smile on discomfort with being in my presence is not going to go over well. And so when we start to be very honest with people, and that also means that we have to very clearly outline what the procedures are that we're recommending and what we are doing to people in advance. You know, many of our sisters have been through procedures and found out later what that was. Right? And it happens far too often, and that's when we talk about systemic oppression. right? If something happened randomly once, oh, that was just a bad doctor. But when you go throughout the community and these violations become a norm, then it's systemic. And so we have to go back to the basics in order to do that. Awareness, knowledge, skills. Who will sing an upbeat black girl song? Who will sing an upbeat black girl song? Songs of now and laters and bus passes. Songs of name brand jeans and name brand shoes and name brands branded in search of a place where everybody knows her name. Who will sing an upbeat black girl song? Songs of cornrows and picking rows of cotton and being picked on and being picked over and using a pick until she picked up a Revlon. Who will sing an upbeat black girl song? Songs of the intercourse of hip-hop beats and gospel hymns, caught in the act, caught in her throat. Songs of blues notes and Bible verses running marathons in her head from late night Friday all the way to Sunday school. Who will sing an upbeat black girl song? Songs with the chorus saying, I'm not from Africa, I'm from North Carolina. I mean, where is Africa? I mean, I am Africa. Africa embodied, Africa personified, Africa transformed. I mean, not just the Africa on TV with flies around bulging eyes and bulging bellies, but the Africa of the Ashanti, the Zulu, the Bassa, the Mandingo, the Pele. Africa of Jumbo and Fufu and Jollof rice. Africa of juju men and market women. Africa where black is beautiful is not just a slogan but a fact of life. But who will sing an upbeat black girl song? Because the downbeat says she's so black and lazy and slack. And the downbeat says she's a video hoe and of course academically slow. And the downbeat says she's so visible in welfare lines but so invisible in the minds of shareholder stakers and policy makers. But who will sing an upbeat black girl song? We will sing it for ourselves. We will sing it for ourselves. We will sing it for ourselves. We will put our souls in our throats, in our hearts, in our lungs, and sing of our survival. And the world will marvel at how long we hold our notes. Who will sing an upbeat black girl song? Girl, you better sing it for yourself. Shaquita, Shay Shay, Wee Wee, Baby Girl, Katrina, Brittany, Topaz, Mercedes. You better sing it for yourself. Hold your note like Harriet held it. Hold it like Sojourner held it. Hold it like Rosa held it. Hold it like Michelle Obama is holding it. And if you don't know none of them, hold it like your great-great-grandma held it. And the world will marvel at how long we hold our notes.